Khash Saghafi here, Liberty Home Mortgage. So today, I'm going to give you some real estate investment tips, how to make some money in real estate. Now, what can I tell you about real estate, okay? I could tell you years ago, I've been involved in real estate now for 26 years. It kind of makes me feel really old, doesn't it? But I guess some people watching are going to be like, yeah, that is old, okay? So I know a lot of people, I started investing in real estate when I was 24 years old, okay? That was 25 years ago, all right? And boy, did I make a ton of mistakes. And now knowing what I know now, I wish I could either, one, go back in time and correct myself, starting with probably punching myself in the face to not make a lot of mistakes, or two, do videos on it to help advise younger people or just people who want to get into it to give them some ideas of the mistakes not to make. I got a lot of notes, I got a lot of things, got a lot of tables, I got a lot of data here today, okay? Let's start with this one here. Number one is this one, is buy on the rumor, sell on the news, okay? Listen to what I'm saying to you. Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. Here's a problem that I've had investing. I'll give you a quick example. I did some investments down in Florida and California and Las Vegas actually back in 2004, 5, 6, okay? And I, being kind of young and stupid, I would hear the news about, oh my God, there's this huge frenzy. And the thing about the news is, the news has a way to get you into the market when you should probably stay out of the market, and it has you get out of the market when you should stay in the market or you should be getting into the market. It's the exact reverse of everything you watch, but here's the problem. You become excited, you become euphoric, okay? People sell when they panic, or I should say, when people panic, they typically sell. When they're scared and panicked and full of anxiety, they sell. When they're euphoric and high and feel on top of the world, they buy. But think about this. When do you feel euphoric and high on top of the world? Typically, whenever you own something that is at a high price, you feel great. But when that thing comes down to a low price, how do you feel? Sad, depressed, and anxious, okay? But what happens is, and this is the goofy stuff that happened to me. I'd buy a stock today, it would drop $10, and I was so angry and frustrated, I would sell it. So I'd essentially buy it high and sell it low, okay? You want to think about this. Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. There's a great story of this. I'm going to show you all of these data when it comes to real estate, okay? What you want to be paying attention to, because right now is a great time to get in, okay? Right now while I'm doing this video, this is November of 2022. Had I done this video in January of 2022, I'd have told you, and this is the truth, if you were looking to make money in real estate in a small window of time, a short term, kind of like property flipping, January was not the time to be getting into real estate because it was at a peak, okay? Let's go with a quick article I have here, okay? Joe Kennedy, he says, it's the shoeshine boy story. There was a story that just before the stock market crash of 1929, Joe Kennedy pulled all of his money out of the stock market. And of course, after the stock market crashed, he pushed all of his money back into the market and of course made millions upon millions of dollars. Now you're talking millions of dollars back in 1929 was equivalent to a multi-billionaire today, if not even more than that, okay? But as the story goes, Joe Kennedy was getting his shoes shined and the shoeshine boy was giving him stock advice. And Joe Kennedy said, I knew at that moment that if the shoeshine boy is giving me stock advice, it was time to get out of the market. And that's when he pulled out of the market. It's a great story, but it is very relevant. Basically what it means is by the time we find out about it, it's a day late and a dollar short. Take Bitcoin, for example. I heard about Bitcoin a little bit when it was down at, when it was $700, $800, $900. By the time I really started paying attention to it, it was at $65,000. What's Bitcoin at today? And I'm not saying Bitcoin's done, but if you're trying to day trade in and out of Bitcoin to make money on it, right now is not necessarily the best time to try to get in and out of the stock of it, okay? So let's start with that one there. You take Joe Kennedy's story with the shoeshine boy, okay? By the time everybody knows about it, that's probably the news, and that's why the saying is buy on the rumor, sell on the news, okay? Now let's start with this one here. I've got a ton of articles I'm gonna show you that the news has a tendency to get us in when we shouldn't and get us out when we should be getting in, okay? Give you an example. Let's go to 2005, okay? These were headline stories back in 2005 that I pulled off of the internet, okay? Here's headline stories. There was an article in the Sun Sentinel, South Florida head over heels in flipping frenzy, okay? South Florida has been one of the most active markets in the country for flipping, experts say, because so many condo units are under construction or in the planning stages. In the second quarter of 2005, 4.5% of single-family homes and 4% of condominium units in South Florida sold after being owned for 6 months or less. So again, this information, this is in the newspaper. South Florida head over heels in flipping frenzy. So what happens is, people read that and, oh my God, people are getting in on this, right? Miami hits real estate boom. This is November 12th of 2005. Miami real estate market is one of the hottest in the United States, November 12th, 2005. Miami continues to draw waves of people wanting to relocate here. The tropical climate, the assortment of activities and economic opportunities is perfect for real estate ventures. Miami, the heart of South Florida, is where everyone wants to live. It's the largest urbanized area in the state of Florida, located in the greater South Florida. It provides tourists and residents many entertainment. So it just goes through all of this, and it talks about in October, condominiums dominated the closed transactions of the market. Approximately 3,000 condos were sold compared to 1,000 single-family homes. So you're reading, Miami hits the real estate boom, and you're in Miami, or you're up in Maine, and you're like, oh my God, I've got to get into that market. Let's read another one, okay? This is January 19th, 2006. This one is CBS News, okay? A record year for new homes in 2005. The article goes on to talk about how it was a record unit sales of homes, which it was. It was over 7 million sales back in 2005. Let's go to another one. The Seattle Times. 2004 was a dream time for buyers, and both buyers and sellers. It says it was a dream market. That's the Seattle Times. Let's go to this one here. This is August 3rd, 2005. Real estate boom arrives in 3 working class cities. It should come as no surprise that Los Angeles County's fastest growing cities, Palmdale, Lancaster, and Santa Clarita, saw big increases in assessed property values last year. But Hawaiian Gardens, Lawndale, and Pico Rivera, the 3 working class towns, reported double-digit growth in assessed property values, according to a new report from the Los Angeles County Assessor's Office. This is the Los Angeles Times. So the news back in 2005 is, look at how crazy it is. And do you want to know something? That caused people even like me to say, I got to get in on this, okay? Now here's the problem. I have a table that is the number of existing homes sold in the United States. But when you look at 2005, 7.08 million units sold. All of these articles are 2005, 2004, 5, 6 in that window, right? 2006, 6.5 million. Now watch this one. 2007 dropped to 5 million. So literally from December of 05 to early to mid 07, there is a 2 million drop off sale of homes in the United States. And the problem is all of those articles are only pouring gas on the fire to get people into the market. So the media gets you in 2004, 5, 6. By the time you're able to get back out, and by the way, it's not even 2006. 2006, it's already coming down. Okay, pulling way back. By the time you're getting out, it's 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. You look at my chart of home sales, we were as low as 4 million home sales in 2008, going into 2009 and 10. So again, the media, 2004, 5, 6, look at the boom. This is the greatest time in the world for homeowners. Get on in. People get in, then here, let's look at the new news. The market drops. Now let's look at the new news. I have these. So let's look at the headline news in 2007, 8, 9, okay? I've got this one here. This is from CNN Money. This is October 9th of 2009. Predatory lending lawsuits on the rise. CNN Classroom Edition, October 6, 2008. Busted mortgage meltdown. I want to say this is CNBC News, published March 23rd, 2009. Inside the mortgage crisis, lifting the curtain on subprime lending. FBI website, this is June 17th, 2010. Hundreds arrested in mortgage fraud sweep. From industry insiders to straw buyers, nearly 500 people have been arrested in a nationwide mortgage fraud takedown that reflects the coordinated efforts of law enforcement to address the growing problem of crime in the housing industry. So once again, here now you have all this news terrifying people. As someone who has worked in this industry for 23 years now, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, every single day on the news, it was predatory lending, subprime lending, the mortgage crisis, the subprime meltdown, the mortgage meltdown, the foreclosure crisis, the greatest housing crisis since the Great Depression. They're just pounding you over the head. And what did that do? People were afraid to buy, okay? And if you look at the numbers again of the number of existing homes sold in the United States since 2005, the truth is when those housing sale numbers were down, that was the best opportunity to get into the market at that time. Did it feel like it if you were watching the news? Hell no, it didn't. If you were watching the news, you were terrified. You're like, this is the worst time in the world to get into this stuff. But if you paid attention to my original statement, buy on the rumor, sell on the news, okay? If you paid attention to that, you'd be sitting in a great place right now. So this is the data that I show. Another one, the last housing slump lasted around 2 years or so, now in which home prices truly went down, okay? I have another chart, the median sales price of houses sold in the United States. This is from the St. Louis Federal Reserve. If you look at this data here, you will see from the chart that back in 2007, 8, 9, house prices came down, but by 2011, 12, 13, the prices were already higher, significantly higher than not only 2007, but they were higher than the prices in 2005 at their peak. So when you hold that asset, had you bought a house in 2005 and held it for 7 years, you'd have gone down and been punching yourself in the face and probably trying to punch me in the face. But then if you've held it until 2012 and 13, you're back up even higher than you were at. The bottom line is pay attention to what the news is doing, and 9 times out of 10, if you do the opposite of it, you're probably gonna end up in a pretty good place. This information here is all of my real estate tips for right now is buy on the rumor, sell on the news. Don't buy into everything you see in the media. As far as housing goes right now, I will tell you, this is the best time to get into housing today. This is the best time to buy a house versus over the last 3 years or so, definitely over the last year. And with a lot of other videos I have and a lot of other data, you're gonna see a lot of other information. But hopefully you like this information for today. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you share and comment. I appreciate watching these videos and keep paying attention to the future ones coming, and we'll be getting you at the next one.